Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Protect Your Paintwork. Now this is highly advised to do, guys, and I'm going to show you the products we're going to use today, the stages that we're going to do to get it up to when you need to protect your paintwork, because there is nothing worse. The UK weather is like 4 seasons in one day. It's absolutely chucking down today, and the other 2 days ago it was freezing cold and there was ice. So it's like your paintwork is sitting outside going through rain, the salt on there, then it's going in ice and everything. And as I say, there's nothing worse. And you know what it's like with pigeons, seagulls, when they drop their guts on your paintwork, you forget about it, you're busy. That pigeon or seagull crap is just eating, because it's got a lot of acids in it. It just eats into your clear coat. And then when you come to wash your car, you look at your clear coat and it's all hazed, cracks, got little crack lines in it where that pigeon poo or whatever it is eaten into your paintwork. Scenario the other day, my car was on the front. I've not washed it for ages and it was filthy. And a pigeon, I don't know what it had eaten, I think it had eaten a vindaloo, but it had dropped its guts, I think it dropped its internal organs down the side of my car, and it was all down the wing, and I'm thinking, oh dear, that's been baked on for like a week. But in the back of my mind, I've polished and cleaned and put protection on the paintwork. So I went out with a water in squirt bottle, one of these, squirted on the pigeon poo, and it just came off, and the clear coat underneath was absolutely immaculate. And that's because I've been using the protection that I'm going to show you a bit later on the vehicle. It just works, guys. So we've done a full Vespa repaint. So this is what we've painted on the channel. The videos from bare metal all the way up to the finished stages in the clear coat are here, guys, on the channel. So this is what we're doing today. We're going to be going round and we're just going to de-nib first. Now, if you don't know what de-nibbing is and you're a complete novice, I'll take you through some little stages on de-nibbing and what you've got to do, because it can sound quite daunting if you're new and a beginner when it comes to paintwork and sort of finishing it and refining it, because you've got to go in with sandpapers and it's like, oh my god, I've just clear coated all my work and now I've got to hit it with sandpaper. What do you do? Well, here's the easy way of doing it, guys. First off, you will need a squirted bottle of water again, one of these, nice and cheap, normal water out your tap. Then you've got to go and source some sandpaper. Now, do not, highly say, do not go out and buy cheap wet and dry sandpaper, i.e. from Poundland, wherever it is in your local village. Don't buy cheap wet and dry, because that can cause you more problems when you come to sand. You can put more marks and scratches into your clear coat. Go online, type in 3M and buy some 1500 wet and dry like this. That's the one I'm going to be using today. You can buy this stuff. You can get the 1500 in Trizac, which is this one, which is really good. Expensive, but it works, guys. And I've got a 3M 3000 Trizac as well on these discs. So they're what we're going to be using today. So dirt nibs. The reason why you get dirt nibs is you'll be painting in something like I am here, which is a built studio in your garden, or you're in your garage or in your workshop. You're not in a spray booth with brilliant ventilation and downdraft and all this. You're in a bog standard shed at the top of your garden. Now you are going to get dirt nibs. To get minimal dirt nibs, if you've watched the process on this, you will see when I did the painting on the Vespa, I was coming in, gutting the studio, papering the floor. Every process was gutting the studio out, cleaning everywhere down, blowing everywhere down, tack ragging in between your paint stages, panel wiping down, blowing your panels off. That will help you along the process when you come to clear coat, and it just makes your work a lot cleaner at the end. You'll get better results, guys, if you keep your hygiene in your place where you're spraying better. So you've clear coated your work. Now, nibs appear in your clear coat when you've put your second coat down. You go out your studio or your garage and your clear coat is drying. Now, airborne dust that you do not see it's all floating around, will settle down. And if you've got any flat panels, i.e. say you're doing a car, you've got your roof, your boot and your bonnet, you're more likely to see dirt nibs landing on the flats. As that dust settles down, it will just land into the clear coat and dry in your clear coat. It usually sits on the top because it's a very light particle that just drops down and sits in the top. So when your clear coat's dry, you'll look down your panel and you'll see all these little dot bits. Sometimes it can be covered in them, or sometimes it can be just bare, sort of minimal, like we've got in these panels here. When I clear coated the side panels, I got a couple of dirt nibs in the sides. There's one on that top casing there. There's one in the toolbox door, and there's one on the top of this, the actual toolbox itself. So absolute minimal in this paint job because I kept it clean throughout as I was going along. So your clear coat's dry, you look down it, you've got a light, you look down it, you can see the little dirt nibs. The first thing you need to do is go in with some water, wet your 1500 bit of paper down. You can tear a little piece off. You can use, I've used before, I've got a pencil eraser, flat pencil eraser, a little square one, wrapped the 3M around it, so you've got like a tiny little rubber block, nice and easy. Go over the nib, just slightly keep it flat to the panel, rub over the nib, give it a couple of rubs over the nib, move it away, wipe it with a microfiber, dry it, have a look, and you'll start to see the nib flatten down. You'll see like a little halo around the dot. Keep flattening it until you see your clear coat just go dull, and when you look down it, you don't see that raised nib. That's when you've got it out. So go round your panels, knocking it back like that till you've got all little dull spots around your panels. So on these bits here, we'll have a couple of dull spots on each bit. You're good to go for your next stage. Then you've got to look at polishing. You can do this by hand, but it takes you a lot longer. It's advised to get yourself a polisher. Now there are loads on the market, guys. You can get rotaries, you can get like the dual action, like a DA that has like a movement sort of like that. A rotary just spins one way and they're quite fierce. So you can spend a lot of money on rotary polishers. There's brands like Roops, there's Flex, there's your cheaper brands. You can go up to like £400 to £500 to £600 on a mop. Personal advice, you don't need to spend that type of money when you're ding-nibbing paintwork. You really don't, guys. I've got a cheap, and this is cheap, this is a Silverline rotary mop from Toolstation. I got this, it's got to be 5 years old, and it was about 45 quid. Now in my mind, for 45 quid for 5 years of work, it's done bloody well. It sounds like a washing machine when it's running. You get the bushes, and that's what they are. You have to replace the bushes. I've still got some new bushes in the box, but it's not packed up yet, so I've not changed them. But it works, and it still works. So a cheap mop, and then you've got to get some compounding pads. Now, you've not got to spend loads again. I've got these ones here, which is a white hard foam compounding pad, and it's Velcro on the bottom. These ones came in a pack of 5. These are the fast mover ones, and they're about 10 quid, probably just over. Pack of 5, they last ages. This one's been on there a good couple of years and it's been absolutely fine. If you look after them, once you've done your compounding, don't leave all your compound to go hard on the pad, and don't use a pad that's full of compound to go over your paintwork, because you'll just create more and more scratches. I usually wash these in soapy water, wash them out, dry them off, stick them on the radiator, dry them off, and they're good to go for the next polishing stage. All the pads, we've got another one here. This is a black one, so it's a little bit less dense on foam, and then we've got a really soft one for finishing. So they're the pads that I'm going to be using. When it comes to compounds, again, you can spend loads of money on compounds. There's loads of brands out there. You can go the old school way, which is like the G3. I've used that in the past. It's good. When you use it with a little bit of water, because it does powder up and start to like chalk up and go dusty. The one that I'd recommend that works, that we use in the body shop, and that's why I moved over to this product, because the guys there that are doing the polishing and denibbing where I work, they're polishing stuff. We paint 500,000 to £1 million tractors, and these panels are in like a blue, Maserati blue. There's loads of videos on the channel, guys, on me painting them, and they use 3M Fast Cut Plus. It works, it's nice and easy, it does the job of cutting back, and it gets you good results. That's why I opted for this one in the studio for my personal paint jobs, is to use this one because it works. It's quite expensive, you're looking about £30 to £35 for a kilo of one of these, but it lasts a long time and you don't need a lot of it. So that's the 3M Fast Cut Plus. Moving on quickly, we've got another compound which I use as a finishing compound to give it a little bit more gloss. Is the Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. The reason why I use that one is you've got a little bit more work time in it because it's a little bit more greasier, it's a bit oilier. So when you stick it on your pad and you're buzzing around with your mop, it just stays wetter and you can work it and work it a little bit longer. So I'll finish off in the Meguiar's. When I've done the compounding stage with the two products I've just showed you, I will then go in with a panel wipe degreaser, solvent panel wipe degreaser, and I'll wipe over where I have done the compounds, because you can get a false reading when you use compounds, because a lot of compounds have got filling agents in them. So where you get the real fine scratches that you don't really see to the eye, these products will fill them little imperfections in. When you look at it, it looks nice and shiny. But when you wipe it with a panel wipe degreaser, it will give you your true reading of your paintwork underneath. So quick buzz over with that, wipe it over, see what your finish is like. If it needs a little bit more compounding, just give it a little bit more, wipe it again, and then you're good for your protection stage. Now again, there is loads on the market, guys. All these detailing channels are going ceramic this, do this, wax this, Canuba wax that. This is going to last you 9 months, this will last you 2 years protection. I always go ballpark on protection stuff that's out there on the market. I usually stick to one brand. I give it a ballpark of, say, maximum I'll leave it on the car 4 months. If it says 12, I'll knock it straight back to 4 and say, right, I'm going to reapply that in 4 months and give it another coat, and then another coat and another coat. And that's what I did on my car with the product that took the bird guts off the side of it. And the product we're using is Carplan Super Ceramic. Now the reason why I've chosen this is, one, it's nice and quick to apply. You buff it off, you chuck water at it and it beads off, because everybody wants that, they want to see the rain run off the paintwork. It does all that in one spray bottle, guys. It's nice and easy, it puts protection on your paint. That's what I've been using on my car for the last 3 months, 3 or 4 months. I've probably applied it twice in 3 or 4 months and it works. So that's what we're using today. So I've babbled on long enough. I'm going to stick you in a time lapse. I'll denib all this. There's not much to do, so it'll be a quick time lapse. Denib these little bits. We'll chuck some of the super ceramic on. I'll do you a little bead out test, spray some water on it, and you'll see it sort of really run off the panel. I'll see you in a bit. Right guys, we've done all the polishing stages on the bits. The frame didn't need any denibbing as there were no nibs on it. It's absolutely pointless on the frame. I've got all the other bits done, nice and simple. Water, 1500 wet and dry. I used a little rubber eraser in the end and wrapped a little bit of 1500 over the top. Just nibbed out the bits. Very, very minimal nibs on this to do. Polished it up so all the bits down here they're all good to go for the next stage, which is the ceramic coating. Now, nice and simple with this, you just spray it over like that, get yourself a clean microfiber, and then just buff it like that, and you see it shine up. Starts to go really like sort of silky smooth. So nice and simple. And this will give it a nice bit of protection, and you'll see in a minute when we do a little spray out, you'll see how it just sort of beads off of it. So I'm going to whiz around the frame doing all this and get the panels done. I'll see you in a minute. All done nice and quick. All the bits, I've had the ceramic coating on the frame. I'll just give you a little show on the beading, on it does with the beading. When you spray, you can just see how quick that runs off. So it's a real nice protection, guys. It does what it says on the bottle, gives you that protection that you need when it comes to your paintwork. And then when you just wipe it like that, any watermarks, they just dry streak free again when you wipe over with the microfiber. So it's a good product, guys. That's why I recommend it. You can get this from Home Bargains. You can get it from Halfords as well. It's about around £20 ballpark for that product. Dead easy to apply, that's why I like it. So on your finish protection, you can just spray that over, mist it over, buff it with a microfiber cloth, and you're good to go. So that's the frame all finished. It's got its protection on it. All the parts have got the protection, and you can see the finishing then, they're really nice on the clear coat. So that's it for the Vespa. This is all finished now and good to go. It's been polished, got a bit of protection on it, and then we can move on to the next two pieces, which is the fuel tank that's going to go in here, and we've got the fork legs to the front, which are going to go silver, petrol tank in the blue to match the bike. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I know it's been a little bit long on sort of denibbing and things like that, but it just gets you an insight on what you have to do, the products you can use to get these sort of finishes when you come to flat and polish. So don't forget, if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe, press that notification, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.
Yes.